Yo, what's up, all you burner stones and potheads? This is Weedman 420 with the Weedman 420 Chronicles. How are all you vipers doing out there? Mrs. Weedman.
Mr. Weedman.
How the hell are you?
Excellent.
I love it. Hey, all you vipers out there in the world. Hopefully you're smoking some big fat doinks while you're listening to the show. Mrs. Weedman and I are about to get normal. Before we do, we have a great episode this week, everybody. We're going to be covering cannabis research, science, health. Got good articles for that. We got political news, business news, some state news, what's going on in your states. And Mrs. Weedman will have a business article to talk about. Then we got some international news around the world. Cannabis Global. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then we'll end it with some cannabis culture and a fun article about a mom and her son. So we're looking forward to that. So now Mrs. Weedman and I are going to get normal, because we've been needing it, with some Donte's Inferno No. 6, grown by Lifted MicroGrowery, who was at the Midwest Terp-Off, Illinois versus Michigan. And I'd like to thank Lifted MicroGrowery for throwing to the cause, and also our friend Midwest Terps, E&T, for always giving us great weed to smoke on the show. So Donte's Inferno is an indica-dominant hybrid strain, 70-30, created through the cross of classic Oreos and Devil Driver strains, which we love Devil Driver. Don't let the name of this bud scare you away. Donte's Inferno is more soothing and delicious than devilish. In fact, the bud is best known for its super amazing flavor, which is a blend of sweet strawberries dipped in cream accented by sugary fruits with a little nuttiness. Ding, ding, ding. The aroma is just amazing, with a nutty cookie overtone accented by sweet fruity strawberries and creamy vanilla, topped with a little strawberry on top, with a touch of black pepper, The Donte's Inferno high will settle in a few moments after the final exhale, taking you and your mind into a journey before spreading throughout your entire body. You'll feel lifted yet relaxed, with a sense of focus that lends itself well into the mental task at hand. A boast in sociability comes next, lending itself well to any social situation at hand. These heady effects can turn sedative, leaving you feeling sleepy before you finally doze off. With these effects and its super high THC level, Donte's Inferno is often chosen to treat various conditions of including insomnia, headaches or migraines, depression or mood swings, chronic stress, and chronic fatigue. This bud has oversized conical forest green nugs with pink undertones, thin dark orange hairs, and chunky pink tinted white crystal trichomes. I will say, when I was looking at these buds, it was all that. Crystally, trichomy, just when you were rolling it, Mrs. Weedman, I was walking to the kitchen. I was like, holy shit, is that the weed?
Smelled.
Oh, man.
In the best way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dank. I'd like to thank Lifted MicroGrowery and Midwest Terps for this Donte's Inferno No. 6, throwing to the cause. And while I'm smoking on this J, Mrs. Weedman's going to tell you a little bit about 8decades.com. Tell us about it, Mrs. Weedman.
Yes. 8 Decades is our cannabis lifestyle brand. You can find it at 8decades.com. That is EIGHT, decades.com. Head on over. You'll see more information about us and what we are trying to achieve through our advocacy. Trying to stomp the stigma. We're trying to free the plant. And get those prisoners out of jail for nonviolent cannabis crimes.
Educate the world.
And so we're doing that through our platform here with the podcast, and also through our brand, 8 Decades. So you'll also find on the website all of our shop goods. So head on in there and take a look. We've got rolling trays, steam rollers, grinders, bags, hemp clothing, and we also have Weedman 420 swag. Yay. So head over to 8decades.com, sign up for our newsletter, and you will get free shipping on your first order.
Yeah, we got everything you need. Come and check us out, because as I always say, you support 8decades.com. We get to pay Shawty, our producer. So we thank everybody who's supported us over the years. We appreciate you. And I'm going to say something. I was watching some Coachella highlights with Mrs. Weedman last night. Yep. And I will have to say, I know who Justin Bieber is. I mean, our kids grew up listening to him. If you had Bieber fever in the 2000s, you had Bieber fever. Very talented musician, very talented entertainer from how old he was when he was found on YouTube until today. Did I listen to Bieber all the time? No. Did I appreciate his talents? Yes. Very amazing entertainer and singer. But what got me was Mrs. Weedman and I last night watched his Coachella performance. I will say he still has a wonderful voice. Unbelievable talent. I mean, to this day. And I liked how he did his, he played a lot of his new stuff, but then he went back and he was on YouTube talking to people on YouTube, asking what songs they wanted to hear. And then he was playing his music when he was a kid from YouTube videos and singing with it, and then letting the crowd enjoy it too and singing with him. I thought it was pretty amazing. And like I said, I'm not a Bieber head, but I do appreciate his talent as a musician. So what, Mrs. Weedman, you liked it too, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah. So there's something wrong in this world right now. Terribly, terribly wrong right now. And I could talk about a lot of things, but this fucking one is terrible. Some thieves, they did a heist, okay? And they stole 12 tons of Kit Kat bars, Mrs. Weedman.
Shit.
What am I going to do without my Kit Kat bars and my ice cream crumbled up in my ice cream? My Kit Kat concretes. I'm 12 tons off the truck from Italy to Poland.
Oh, European, so even better chocolate.
Yes. The truck
Yummy.
vanished into thin air with 12 tons of Kit Kat bars.
The heist.
But here's something crazy.
Like, who plans that kind of a heist? I am
don't know.
stealing
How do you
a
sell
truck of
12
Kit
tons
Kats.
of Kit Kat bars, though?
Maybe you don't. Maybe you eat them for the rest of your
12
life.
tons?
Yep. You're just going to eat them
400,000 bars?
Yep. You're just going to eat them.
Get
That's all
the-
you're going to eat.
Here's the cool thing, though. Nestle joked about this, though,
Oh, yeah?
and said the criminals had exceptional taste.
Oh.
But let's be real, this one was serious organized cargo theft.
I
Maybe
would
the
say.
mob, maybe the cartel, maybe, I don't know, somebody that was hungry,
Yeah.
you know?
Some guy who really likes Kit Kats.
Yes. And somehow nobody's found the truck or the chocolate yet either. I know. So yeah, somewhere out there is the sweetest black market stash of all time. But what Nestle said, though, if you scan it, if anything gets scanned, like if they sell it off market to like a whatever stores or anything like that, the
barcodes will know, right?
Yes, yes. So, but whoever got those 400,000 of them, whoo, have fun eating them, bathe in them, bathe in a Kit Kat bar.
It's an odd crime. I can think of so many better things to steal.
I know.
If you're really going to just steal Kit Kats? I don't know.
You're not a big Kit Kat person.
I enjoy a Kit Kat.
You do, but you don't
I would
go.
not reach for it. No, I wouldn't
Okay,
go for
so
it.
what's your go-to stuff lately?
If I was grabbing a candy bar?
if you were stealing
lately I've been, like, I can't get enough Good and Plenty.
Oh my gosh.
Even though so
Gross.
September marked a year that I was candy free.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. I'm like
Not chocolate free.
candy.
Candy.
Like candy.
Yes.
And candy was one of my food groups.
Yes.
There was daily
Top tier.
consumption. Yes.
Top tier
yes.
food group.
Like move over protein. There's candy to be had. And I had a problem. And so I gave it up and I thought I was going to feel so different. I did not. But anyway, September marked a year that I was without candies. Then over the holidays, somebody gave me a Christmas gift that had candy in the package, like old, like novelty candy.
Do I
like
want to
a
write her
Lickamaid.
out?
My sister, Michelle. Yeah. Thanks, Missy. Yeah. So it had like Lickamaid in there, or Lick-a-Sticks. It had Now and Laters, Laffy Taffy. I was like, oh, it's a gift. That would be
Some of
rude
your
not to have
faves,
it.
too.
Yeah. So I went to town. I ate all of that really quickly so then I could just be over and done with the guilt. And then since then, I've bought a few boxes of Good and Plenty's. So I was like, well,
And Mr.
I mean,
Weedman loves it
really,
because I don't eat them.
I don't have to give up candy. I chose to give up candy. So
Right.
if I choose to eat it, it's just, who cares? It's just a personal decision.
I ain't judging.
So I had my Good and Plenty, but then I started reading how bad like natural black licorice can be for you. And like it can cause heart problems if you have it frequently. Like very small amounts of it frequently can lead to some big problems. So I'm pacing myself, Mr. Weedman. But yes, maybe I would consider stealing a truck of Good and Plenty.
Why are parents like you buy Good and Plenty? Not only because you like them.
Because the kids don't eat them. You get the whole box for yourself.
I don't think I don't like them either.
Almond Joy, Milk Duds.
I don't mind Almond Joys. Milk does stick
A Payday.
my teeth.
Like
I
they
I
don't
love
know what they're
Payday.
missing.
I love Payday.
Payday is so
Payday's the
satisfying.
shit. But yes, I despise black licorice and Good and Plenty. I'm not a fan at all, and our kids didn't like it either. So Mrs. Weedman be like, I got my good and plenty, and you can't have none.
Okay, I came across a social media influencer, and she critiques candy, and I was like, "Oh, motherfucker! I could have been a millionaire.
You could have been doing that
like
for
just doing
40
what I enjoy
years.
doing."
Yeah, you should have been doing
I
that
just
40
missed.
years ago.
I missed so many boats in my life. We'll just add that to
You
my
still
marina.
can do it. You still
Well,
can
yeah.
do candy.
I mean, yeah. They really want to hear me talk about candy.
I like to hear you talk about candy.
But I was at checkout at the grocery store, and they had there's so many new candies that I'm missing out on. And they had these candies. I was smushed the shit out of this bag because they were smushy candies. But it's like a piece of watermelon, like a wedge of watermelon, and then it's wrapped in some sort of candy. And so the idea is that you peel the fruit and then you eat it. And it's really just a gummy that's wrapped in some sort of like chewy, like almost like a starburst coating.
Right.
So you get these like double textures. Oh my God, I really wanted to eat
So why
that.
didn't you buy one?
I just smushed the bag instead.
So that poor kid who got
like
the
one
smushed
after
watermelon.
another.
You're one of them.
Oh yeah, it was fun. It was very satisfying.
Terrible. That kid who bought
Sorry.
the
Sorry,
parents that
kid.
bought that for the kid to get a bunch of smashed
Smushed
watermelon.
up. Yeah, that was me.
Gross.
Oops.
I myself, I like a lot of different candy, but I don't go crazy over it. But I do love sour candy. I love sour Patch Kids.
Good Sour Patch Kid.
I love sour Patch watermelons. I like when you would go to the there was a place where when we lived in the South Side, there was a place called Greco's Candy. Rest in peace.
It was a bulk
Rest in
candy
love.
store.
Actually, rest
Amazing.
in love.
Yeah.
Rest in love.
Deep
Because
love.
we love. Mrs. Weedman would go to that probably once a month and spend about $40, $50.
I probably bought like 15 pounds of candy a month.
Yeah.
Not even joking.
And it'd be like Albany's gummy bears, the sour cherries, which I love.
Gummy worms.
I'm not a fan of gummy worms. What were those other ones? The red and the dark. It was like a raspberry and a blackberry.
Oh, the Haribo berries.
God, those are so
they're
good
like
too.
they look like a spice drop, but they're like non-perils
I miss
that
those.
are red or black over like a jelly candy.
Miss those from there.
Those are good.
Then you would buy Albany's gummy bears. You would buy what are some of the candy? Oh, you loved the cinnamon fucking. That's another candy.
Oh,
that we all
cinnamon
had.
season is always a season.
But you like the cinnamon hearts that you get at Valentine's Day. But
Juju
also,
coins.
Oh, Juju coins are
cinnamon
great.
coins.
No, I hate cinnamon. Fake cinnamon's worse.
You like the strawberry coins,
Those strawberry
which are hard to
yeah,
find.
so good.
Cherry coins.
Yes, Mrs. Weedman and
Sour
I.
cherries
sour
till you have
cherries.
canker sores.
Oh,
What else? Oh, and then there was like a bulk wall that you could help yourself.
dark.
Everything else was in bins behind the counter,
Yeah.
and they had to fill it for you. But then there was a bulk wall
Fruities.
of wrapped candies.
Fruities.
Yes, fruities.
Oh, so good.
Bullseyes. Giant lemon heads.
Oh, so good.
Now and later.
Oh, so good.
Jolly
Your bit of honey.
Ranchers.
You come home with a bag of
Bit
bit of honey.
Did they have high chews?
Yes.
No.
That later.
Later they did. Yeah. And you could pick like handfuls by the flavor.
Yeah, by the flavor.
You can make
was
your
dope.
own assortment.
Oh yeah, there was so much
Flavored
good candy.
Tootsie
I missed
Rolls.
those, and their prices were very reasonable.
Yeah, this was
too.
not like going to that
the
mall
getting
and you get
ripped
like
off.
you know you
walking
get like a handful of candy
walking
for
out-
$20.
Walking out like your asshole's been raped a couple times after going there.
That's
after going to the mall, walking kind of funny out of there, going.
I got candy though.
Oh shit! When our son was little, my dad, when he was alive, rest his soul, rest in love, Poppy, we called him, would go to the candy store, and my dad was my dad, and he would walk out and he'd have like. Because he refused to pay mall price candy at the stores, he'd come out with
pockets full
of sharks and give them to my son outside the store.
Yeah,
right outside the store. He's like, "I got these for you. I got these for you."
Or you just tell the kids to grab a handful of candy. That's what you're supposed to do. Just go get a handful. Don't put your hand in the thing. Like scoop it and pour it in your hand.
And just start eating it.
And just eat it. Oh, and if you want that Hot Wheel, grab it.
Yeah. Oh my God, my dad was terrible. Love him, rest in soul, Oh my gosh, Poppy, what you used to do. Holy shit. So you ready to get the show started before I cry?
Yeah, let's
do this. Let's talk about something that's starting to take over bar carts, but without the alcohol. THC spirits are basically cannabis-infused alternatives to traditional liquor. No vodka, no whiskey, just hemp or cannabis-derived THC blended into a liquid you can pour, mix, and sip like a cocktail. The whole idea is to keep the ritual, pouring a drink, clinking glasses without the hangover. And for a lot of people, that's the appeal. Most of the THC spirits are low dose, usually around 5 to 10 milligrams per serving. That gives you a light social buzz, more like the mellow wine vibe than getting blasted. doing shots of tequila all night. Ugh. And unlike smoking, the experience comes on a little slower, smoother, and more controlled. Some newer drinks even use a nano emulsion tech, so the effects hit faster and more predictability than the old school edibles. Another big difference: no alcohol side effects, no dehydration, no next day regret. That's why a lot of people are reaching for these as an alternative when they still want to unwind but don't want to feel wrecked the next morning. Legally, most of what you are seeing on the shelves is hemp-derived THC, meaning it stays under 0.3% federal limit from the Farm Bill, so it can be sold more widely than traditional cannabis products. Bottom line, THC spirits aren't trying to replace weed or alcohol completely, but they're carving out their own lane. It's a kind of coolish vibe, but just a little bit of a different buzz. Right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've seen a couple in the market. There was one that was in the dispensaries here in Chicago, and I can't even remember the name of it because they were here today, gone tomorrow. It's just people weren't ready for that yet. But now, I think in the next couple of years, you'll see more and more, especially people will start going to dispensaries if your state gets rid of the hemp drinks and gets rid of hemp altogether. That's the only place you'll be able to go get that stuff. Yeah. So dispensaries will have to carry a little more inventory on certain things because people are going to want it. Mm-hmm. So I hope they don't get rid of the drinks.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's a big business. So the hemp beverage market. So we work out, right?
You do.
I do.
I used to. I retired from working out.
But can cannabis help your body bounce back faster?
Well, let's see.
Tell us about it, Ms. Weedman.
All right, this one comes from The Fresh Toast, and it taps into a newer wellness idea called micro-recovery. Basically, instead of waiting for a full day off or vacation to reset, people are taking small breaks throughout the day, like quick naps, short walks, or just stepping away to manage stress and avoid burnout. Now, here's where cannabis enters the conversation. Instead of just being used at the end of the day to relax, more people are experimenting with low-dose THC or CBD during these mini reset moments. The idea is simple: help calm the mind, reduce stress, and make it easier to transition between tasks without completely checking out. Think about it like this. Maybe a creative takes a small edible before a 20-minute reset to clear their head, or someone uses CBD before a stressful meeting to take the edge off. It's less about getting lit and more about staying functional while resetting mentally. And there's actually some science backing why this might work. Cannabis interacts with the body's endocannabinoid system, which helps regulate things like mood, stress, and sleep. So in theory, cannabinoids can help the body return to balance, especially during high-stress periods. Now, let's keep it real. This isn't some miracle recovery hack. The science is still developing, and even in the fitness world, researchers say we don't have strong enough proof that cannabis actually speeds up physical healing. What it can do, though, is help with things that support recovery, like reducing pain, improving sleep, boosting appetite, and lowering stress. And those factors matter because real recovery isn't just about your muscles. It's about your whole system resetting. For example, sleep is huge. That's when your body actually repairs itself. Some people use cannabis to fall asleep faster or stay asleep longer, which can indirectly improve recovery. But, and this is important, there's a balance. Too much THC or using it at the wrong time can backfire. You might feel sluggish, less motivated, or even it could mess with your sleep quality long term. And there's another key point people don't think about, and feeling better isn't the same as healing faster. Cannabis might reduce soreness, but that doesn't always mean your muscles are actually repaired. So if you jump back into activity too soon, you could still be pushing a body that isn't fully recovered. So the takeaway here is that cannabis isn't a shortcut. It's more like a tool. Used intentionally and in moderation, it can fit into a broader recovery routine alongside things like sleep, nutrition, and stress management. But it's not replacing those fundamentals. At the end of the day, this whole micro-recovery trend is really about one thing: learning how to reset without burning out. And cannabis is becoming one more option in that toolkit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, if you heard that rumbling, we have some major storms going on right now in Illinois and across the Midwest.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. Wisconsin's getting whacked right now. Michigan's going to get it next. It's coming all the way from the west here, tornado watches. So if you hear rumblings, and there's a lot of lightning and thunder going on right now, so we do apologize.
The recording just goes blank.
The tornado.
That's because we ran to the basement.
Yeah, and we're like Dorothy and Toto.
Dorothy and Toto. Come on, Yuki.
Heading to Oz because we're off to see the wizard. So, so enjoy. This next one is more of an opinion piece, but it hits on something a lot of people in the cannabis space already feel. The idea that one day we're going to look back and wonder how medicine ever functioned without cannabis. Now, that might sound bold, but the argument is actually pretty grounded. This article points out that cannabis interacts with the body's endocannabinoid system, which helps regulate things like pain, mood, sleep, and inflammation. So instead of targeting just one symptom, cannabis can work more broadly across multiple systems at once. And that's where it starts to challenge traditional medicine, which often treats symptoms individually. One pill for pain, another for sleep, something else for anxiety, something else for gas, whatever. Cannabis flips that model a bit. The piece also highlights how many patients are already using cannabis for chronic conditions, pain, neurological disorders, even side effects from major treatments, and reporting real relief. Not hype, actual day-to-day improvement. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. The medical system hasn't fully caught up. A lot of doctors still aren't trained in cannabinoid therapy, and many don't feel confident even discussing it with patients. It's not because it doesn't work, it's because it wasn't taught. So you've got this weird gap where patients are experimenting and finding benefits, while the medical establishment is still playing catch up. The article also touches on federal policy, how cannabis being restricted for so long has slowed down research, education, and widespread medical adoption. Basically, science got held back by politics. And the bigger point, we may be in a transition phase right now. The same way people once questioned things like herbal medicine or alternative therapies that later became mainstream, cannabis might follow that same path. Not as a miracle cure, but as a legitimate tool in the medical toolbox. So the takeaway here isn't that cannabis replaces modern medicine. It's that future medicine might not feel complete without it. And years from now, people might really look back and say, how did we treat all this without this amazing plant? Helps you every day, right? Doesn't Ms. Weedman?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. For me, when I always say when I get done with the work, I cannot wait to have my joy to get that reward. You know, it's like a dog getting the treat after it goes potty outside, right?
A little Pavlov.
Right. That's me. I get the work done, and then I look forward to that joint that Mrs. Weedman has in the ashtray waiting for us to smoke and the edible. So, they're saying chronic pain starts in the, how do you say that word? Fascia. And cannabis might be the missing link to relief.
Yeah.
Tell us about it, Ms. Weedman.
Yep. All right. This next article dives into something most people don't even think about when it comes to pain, your fascia. This article from cannabis.net is basically saying a lot of chronic pain doesn't actually start in your muscles or joints, but in this connective tissue system that wraps around your entire body. Fascia is like a web, thin layers of tissue that surround muscles, organs, everything. When it's healthy, it's flexible and moves smoothly. But when it gets tight, inflamed, or dehydrated, it can create chronic pain patterns that are hard to diagnose. And that's where things get interesting. The article suggests that a lot of conditions like back pain, stiffness, even mobility issues can be linked to fascia dysfunction. Instead of one injury, it's more like your body's entire support system getting restricted over time. Enter cannabis. The theory here is that cannabis might help because it interacts with the body's endocannabinoid system, which plays a role in regulating pain, inflammation, and tissue balance. So instead of just masking pain, cannabinoids can potentially help the body restore balance in those connective tissues. That's the idea, at least. And when you look at the broader science, there's some support, but also some reality checks. Research shows cannabis may help certain types of chronic pain, especially nerve-related pain, but the overall effects are usually described as modest and short-term. At the same time, pain itself is incredibly complex. We're talking about something that affects around 100 million people in the US, and it's often difficult to treat no matter what method you use. So when people start exploring things like fascia, it makes sense they're looking for a deeper cause. Back to cannabis, though, because it can consistently help the support systems of recovery by reducing inflammation, easing muscle tension, helping with sleep, lowering stress levels, all things that can indirectly improve how your body handles chronic pain. But there's still limited evidence that cannabis alone is a full-on solution for most chronic pain conditions. So what the article is really pushing is more of a holistic approach. Think about combining movement and stretching, hydration, massage, or myofascial release, and using cannabis as a support tool. Not a cure-all, but as part of your toolkit. And honestly, that's where the conversation is heading right now in the cannabis space. People are moving away from this fixes everything and more toward how does this fit into my wellness routine? The idea that fascia issues might explain why some pain lingers and doesn't respond to typical treatments, and cannabis might help take the edge off and support recovery, but it's not rewriting your body overnight. But it opens up another way of thinking about pain. Not just about where it hurts, but why it keeps coming back. And I have to say firsthand, I deal with a lot of pain, and sometimes I have good weeks and sometimes I have bad weeks, and sometimes I have a good day and sometimes I have a bad day, and there's no pattern to it. You don't get to decide how it plays out. But I'm dealing with a shoulder injury, and my ortho kind of schooled me that I need to be taking my meloxicam because I have to get my inflammation down so that I can have physical therapy. So I've been now taking the meloxicam since I got my little slap on the hand from the doctor a week ago. And it's like, and then I forget that I'm taking the meloxicam because I'm just taking it when I take other medications. And
I don't think people know what meloxicam
is. It's a pain medication. It's a prescription pain medication, non-opioid. It's not an addictive medication. It's like a super strong Tylenol. And I'll be midday and it's like, wow, my body actually feels decent. Like I only have pain in my neck right now, or I only have it in one area, or it's not that bad. It's not like bugging. I don't have a headache. I haven't had a headache in a week. I mean, that's kind of a miracle in itself. But then I'm like, oh, it's because I thought I was just doing better. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I turned a corner and I'm just feeling good right now. And it's like, oh no, I'm taking another drug. But more importantly, cannabis is part of why I use cannabis, because I do deal with a lot of pain, and chronic pain is pretty maddening. You can't control it. You don't know when it's going to bother you. And I don't find that I get pain relief from from cannabis, but I find that I get a calming effect, and it just takes away that frazzled feeling when you can't control the pain and you aren't feeling great. It just makes you feel more relaxed, and it maybe makes you forget a little bit about the pain. And I've always kind of said that I don't think that it stops the pain. I think it stops the thinking about the pain and other things. Yeah. But I think it's more of the way that it just makes you feel overall, makes you feel better.
Right. No, that's good.
So that's all.
Yeah.
Chronic pain.
You deal with one pain every day, though. You
what?
You have a pain in your ass. Looking at the guy right across from you. I know cannabis helps with that.
yeah, it does. Yeah, I don't wait until after work to smoke anymore. No. Well, it depends on the day. Mm-hmm.
Political state and business news. Ohio just hit a legal speed bump. A judge ruled that states attempt to ban certain hemp-derived products while allowing regulated cannabis may be discriminatory, issuing temporary restraining order. Decision suggests regulators can pick favorites between similar products. Now the state has to rethink how it separates hemp and marijuana markets moving forward. Big business move in Texas. 2 major cannabis operators are entering the state's limited medical marijuana market. Even the strict laws, companies are positioning early, expecting future expansion. Texas remains one of the most restricted programs in the country, but moves like this signal confidence that broader legalization or access could be coming down the line. A powerful moment in Congress. One father on a terminally ill child urged lawmakers to move forward with marijuana rescheduling. He argued current restrictions are blocking critical research into treatments for rare diseases. The message was simple. Families need options now, not years from now. It adds emotional weight to the ongoing push to loosen federal cannabis restrictions. Massachusetts lawmakers just struck a deal to shake up cannabis laws, doubling the legal possession limit while restructuring parts of the regulatory system. The goal is to modernize the market and make sure rules are more practical for consumers and businesses. And another sign that's even established legal states are still evolving and fine-tuning their cannabis frameworks. Maine lawmakers are pumping the brakes on cannabis lounges. A bill that would have allowed social consumption spaces has been rejected, keeping public use options off the table for now. Supporters say it limits tourism and safe consumption spaces, while opponents still have concerns about regulations and public health. That whole thing. You let people go to a bar, drink, get fucked up, still get in the car, even though they're not supposed to drive. Mm-hmm. If they're having
every day, there's DUIs.
Crazy. I digress. A drug reform group is offering a different approach of high THC concerns without bringing back criminal penalties. Instead of prohibition, they're suggesting regulation, education, and product limits to reduce risk. The focus is harm reduction, not punishment. It's a part of a bigger shift in how policymakers are shifting to think how cannabis is in the legal market. In West Virginia, the state treasurer is moving forward with allocating medical marijuana revenue, even after the governor vetoed legalization legislation. It's creating tension between branches of government, but also highlights how cannabis money is becoming too significant to ignore. Even in stricter states, those dollars are starting to play a bigger role. Minnesota cannabis market is already showing momentum, hitting a major milestone early on. Even with gradual rollout, consumer demand is strong, and the state is quickly establishing itself as a growing player in the Midwest. It's another example of how new markets can ramp up fast once legalization takes hold. The Bob Marley estate is suing a cannabis company linked to a major brand deal, seeking over $11 million in damages. The lawsuit claims unpaid royalties and breach of contract tied to Marley-branded cannabis products. It's a reminder that cannabis grows, so do the stakes, as disputes over money, branding, and legacy are heating up. A Nebraska bill aimed at protecting doctors who recommend medical cannabis has stalled after proposed amendments killed its momentum. Without those protections, physicians remain hesitant to get involved. It's another setback for medical marijuana progress in the state, showing how difficult it still is to move even limited cannabis reforms forward. Nebraska. For all you Nebraskans out there, I feel for you, because this is just horseshit, because now you're not going to have any doctor. Maybe 1 or 2 might sign up and take the risk. They'll make a lot of money, especially I know a doctor here in this state in Illinois that signed up over 100,000 patients at the time at $300 a pop. Mm-hmm. So take the chance, make the money, have your lawyer bail you out. A former DA senior official is speaking out, saying that current system for classifying marijuana and other drug causes serious harm. He argues outdated scheduling has blocked research, distorted policy, and slowed medical progress. Coming from inside the system, it adds more pressure on lawmakers to rethink how cannabis is categorized at a federal level. Now, passing the joint over to you, Mrs. Weedman.
Yeah, I've got some more political, state, and business news. Starting off with Illinois, the Medical Cannabis Advisory Board is reviewing new petitions to expand qualifying conditions. Advocates are pushing to add more illnesses, giving patients broader access to medical marijuana. It's part of an ongoing effort to make the program more inclusive, but approvals aren't guaranteed. State officials are taking a careful, evidence-based approach before making any changes. Hip-hop meets cannabis. Sensi Seeds is teaming up with Death Row Records to launch exclusive strains in the U.S. The collab blends legendary cannabis genetics with iconic music culture, aiming to create premium branded products. It's another example of how cannabis and entertainment continue to merge, building lifestyle brands that go beyond just the flower. A new survey is asking a big question: How free do cannabis consumers really feel in the U.S.? While legalization has expanded, many users still face restrictions around where they can consume, employment protections, and travel. The results show legalization doesn't always mean full freedom, and there's still a gap between legal status and real world experience. The hemp industry, once booming, is now facing serious challenges. A $28 billion market is struggling with oversupply, unclear regulations, and inconsistent enforcement. Businesses are dealing with falling prices and legal uncertainty, raising the question of whether the industry can stabilize or needs major reform to survive long term. In Washington state, cannabis policy continues to evolve as officials and communities debate regulation, enforcement, and market direction. Ongoing discussions highlight concerns about safety, business conditions, and how the industry fits into local economies. It's another reminder that even mature markets still face growing pains as legalization continues to develop. An op-ed piece is placing the blame for hemp's struggles on the industry itself, not regulators. The argument is that lack of standards, inconsistent quality, and pushing legal gray areas hurt credibility. Instead of outside pressure, the piece suggests internal missteps played a major role in the current challenges facing hemp businesses. Maryland is moving toward allowing veterinarians to recommend medical marijuana for pets. A new bill heading to the governor would protect vets from penalties when discussing cannabis as a treatment option. Supporters say it opens the door for alternative care, especially for pain and anxiety in animals, while still keeping regulations in place. In Virginia, pressure is building on the governor to sign a new marijuana bill without delaying the launch of legal sales. Advocates warn that pushing timelines back could hurt the market and give illicit operators an advantage. The message is clear: move forward now or risk losing momentum in the state's legalization efforts. Texas is back in court as rules banning smokable cannabis products have been temporarily blocked. The decision allows sales to continue while legal challenges play out. It's another example of how cannabis laws in Texas remain unsettled, with businesses and regulators still battling over what's allowed in the state's limited market. Hawaii's Senate is calling on Congress to finally legalize marijuana. Lawmakers passed a resolution arguing national reform, pointing to the conflicts between state and federal laws. While it doesn't change policy directly, it adds to the growing pressure on Washington as more states push for a unified cannabis approach. Cannabis trade organizations are working to bridge divides within the industry. From small businesses to large operators, groups are trying to align on policy priorities and advocacy efforts. The goal is a stronger, more unified voice as the industry faces regulatory challenges and pushes for broader legalization and reform. That's all my news. It's now back over to Mr. Weedman.
Thanks, Mrs Weedman. Rhode Island's cannabis rollout just hit pause. Federal judge blocked enforcement on the state's residency requirement, halting new license programs. The rule favored in the state applicants, but now is being challenged as unconstitutional. With licensings on hold, regulators have to reassess, adding another delay into the market that's still trying to get fully up and running. Cleveland officials are looking to put cannabis tax dollars to work locally. A new proposal would direct marijuana revenue towards neighborhood improvement projects, including community development and infrastructure, as part of the growing trend using cannabis money to reinvest in communities. I like that. Now, the question is how those funds get distributed and who benefits the most. The people need to benefit the most of this. Oregon is expanding access in a meaningful way. The governor signed a bill allowing medical marijuana to use in hospice and certain healthcare facilities for patients to the end-of-life care. This opens the door for more comfort and sympathy relief to step forward integrating cannabis more deeply into healthcare settings. Federal authorities in Washington state have seized a mystery liquid being sold as cannabis, but it wasn't the real thing. The product was linked to a synthetic compound similar to the JWH-018, raising safety concerns. I don't know what JWH-018 is. Sorry, everybody. Official warns consumers to be cautious as unregulated products like this can carry serious health risk and aren't the same as a natural cannabis. Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a synthetic cannabinoid found in several versions of the herbal mixture spice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's the stuff you can use. People used to smoke and jump out of windows and shit, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ugh. Michigan cannabis sales are slipping again, marking another downturn in one of the country's biggest markets. Oversupply and falling prices continue to pressure businesses, making profitability tougher. Even in a strong legal state, the industry is feeling the squeeze, showing that growth doesn't always mean stability. Another take on hemp struggle says consolidation is the real issue. An opinion piece argues large companies are using consumer protection as a cover to push out smaller competitors. The concern is the tighter rules can shrink competition and limit innovation, shifting control of the hemp market into fewer hands. A new poll shows strong support for legalizing home cannabis cultivation across the U.S. Many responded say growing their own helps avoid concerns about contaminated or pesticide-treated products. It highlights a growing demand for personal control and transparency, even in states where legal markets already exist. I think everybody should be allowed to home grow. I think everybody should be allowed to grow their own plant. Everybody. Free the plant. That's what I mean. Everybody should be allowed to grow and sell this plant in a integrity way. Hey, Alabama. It's getting closer to launching time. We've been talking about this, it seems like forever. Your cannabis program is coming in May. Are you excited? I am for you, because patients have been waiting, and this signals real progress as the program finally begins to take shape in a traditionally strict state. And the first dispensary opening up is in Montgomery, called Callie's Apothecary. Yay, finally, Alabama. Roll Tide. I can start saying it again. Roll Tide. Go get them, Alabama. RFK Jr. and Dr. Oz are backing a move to dismiss a lawsuit targeting a Medicare-related company, Medicare-related hemp coverage program. The case challenges whether hemp-derived products should be included, but supporters argue that the lawsuit lacks merit. It's another example of how cannabis policy is now intersecting with healthcare at the federal level. Another survey is taking the temperature of cannabis freedom across the country ahead of 420. It looks at how consumers feel about access, restriction, and overall rights. The takeaway: legalization is spreading, but many people still feel limited depending on where they live and how laws are enforced. I agree with that 100%. Pennsylvania voters are showing strong bipartisan support for marijuana legalization. A new poll finds backing across political lines, adding pressure on lawmakers to act. With neighboring states already legal, momentum is building. The question now is whether state leaders will move forward or continue to hold off despite growing public support. And that's the political state and business news, everybody. Now, Mrs. Weedman, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You know how much I love 420.
Yeah.
It's in my name, right? It's in my blood.
Mm-hmm.
Ma 420.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was born on 420. My brother and I are 420 babies. We're very proud of that. My dad was a plug. I'm very proud of that too. But here's the thing. I've been talking about this. I still believe we all need a day off on 420. Okay? You can make your money any other day. But here is this. This is the main question, because we've been talking about this for a hot minute now. Is 420 still the best day for cannabis retail? Is it still going to be the day where the lines are around the corner and people are excited because it's 420? Or has it kind of burned out a little bit? Is the hype still there for retail sales? So tell us about it, Ms. Weedman.
Yeah, we talked about this last week too. We talked about the marketing strategies that dispensaries do for 420. So here's just another perspective on the day and the importance of the day. Is 420 losing its spark? Well, let's talk about this, right? It's kind of wild. What if 420 isn't the biggest cannabis sales day anymore? I'd be surprised, right? I'm not. This one comes from MJ Biz Daily, and it's basically asking if the industry has outgrown its biggest holiday. Traditionally, 420 has been like the Black Friday of cannabis. Big crowds, crazy discounts, long lines, packed dispensaries. But according to new retail data, that might be changing. In fact, Some numbers show that the days leading up to 420
Yes.
are actually outperforming the holiday itself, with nearly 60% of total 420 related sales happening before 420.
Yep.
So instead of one big spike, it's becoming more like a week-long sales window. And it even gets crazier. In several major markets like New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Maryland, Ohio, and Missouri, 420 isn't even in the top 10 sales days of the year anymore. In some cases, holidays like Christmas or Green Wednesday are actually pulling bigger numbers. So what's going on here? Well, part of it is industry maturity. Back in the day, 420 was all about culture, community, rebellion, celebrating the plant. But once legalization hit, retailers turned it into a retail event. Discounts, doorbusters, promos, you know all that, right? And now that strategy might be backfiring. Because when everybody expects massive deals on one specific day, it actually compresses profit margins. Some operators even say they're basically breaking even after all of the discounts and operational stress. Think about that. Your biggest day of the year and you're not even making money? So some companies are actually flipping the script completely. There's even a multi-state operator that's choosing to close stores on 420, not to lose money, but to refocus on culture, community, and giving employees a chance to actually enjoy the day.
We talked about them last
Yep,
week.
we
Ethos, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a big shift from sell everything you can to what does this day actually even mean? And that's kind of the bigger theme here. 420 is evolving from a sales holiday back into a cultural moment.
I'm bringing back the skunk bus.
At the same time, businesses are getting smarter. Instead of blowing everything on one day, they're spreading out promotions, targeting customers more strategically, and trying to build long-term loyalty instead of just chasing one-time shoppers. Because at the end of the day, the real money isn't made on 420. It's made on the customers who come back on the 21st and beyond.
Yes, I love.
It's not over yet.
Oh, it's
Sorry.
not. Oh, go ahead.
420 isn't dead. It is just changing. It's shifting from a one-day retail frenzy into a longer, more strategic window, and maybe even reconnecting with its roots. And honestly, that might not be such a bad thing, because cannabis was never supposed to be about sales. Because it's always been more about a vibe.
Someone listened to my show like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. We've been talking about this for so long, right? How long? 420 will be 7 years.
For as long as I've been on the show.
7 years. We'll be on 420 this year of 2026. We'll be doing a show for 7 years. 420 is in my name. It's in my blood. It's who I was born through. Okay, you don't understand how much that I appreciate that word and where it comes from. Okay, the Waldos. I've talked to owners of companies that don't even know who the fucking Waldos are, where 420 came from. Shame on you for not knowing that it's Ma 420. Oh, wait, sorry. The Waldo started the term 420. Sorry. I am telling you right now, close your shops. You don't need to be open anymore on 420. You fucking dispensaries and vendors, I love you all, but you ruined this holiday. 6 years ago when I started in the industry, the legal industry, I used to see lines around the corner going, why don't you celebrate 420? Buy your shit the day before and then have fun on 420. Throw fucking garage smoke out parties. Go back to your basements and hang out what you did when you were a fucking kid and rip out your bong that you haven't touched in years. It's collecting dust. Go to a fucking bar and bring the staff edibles for when they get off work from serving drinks all night and dealing with assholes. They can go home and fucking relax. Yes, hit me that. I'm in a fucking zone right now. And I'm telling you what, I'm going to get on my soapbox about every year for 420. I fucking love this holiday more than anything in the world. I love the Waldos. I love Lagunitas Brewing Company that helped me understand what 420 was all about. You know, really get to know what 420. Let me celebrate it every year at 420. Let me rent a bus and drive a bunch of crazy stoners, burners, and potheads around the fucking to 8 to 10 bars and get stoned out of your mind, have the best time of your life with Mrs. Weedman's edibles and beer and enjoy what 420 was about. Fat joints, fucking dabs. You all, there's people out there that still do it right. I'm not taking away from that. I'm just saying we all need a break. I've been doing it in this industry for a long fucking time. And I think if we don't do this one fucking day, you give this back to all of us, all you retailers and vendors and everybody out there, throw parties. Have fucking fun. Bring the excitement back into what this day is all about. Give everybody it back. It should be I'm telling you right now, if you don't do it, you're going to destroy the day, which it's probably coming pretty close. As much as this article is trying to saying that people are getting back to it, I'm telling you right now, get back to the fun of it before you destroy this day. I will fight for this day until as long as I do this show. Okay? But I'm telling you right now, get back to what this plan is about. Profits and margins are fine. Greed is not. You're destroying everything you're building. Just what it said. There hasn't been any money made on 420 in a very long time. In a very long time. And especially for the suppliers. I'd like to thank this joint I'm smoking and this weed, Donte's Inferno, because I'm on fuego right now, everybody. So I'm going to take it over to international news. So in St. Martin, the cannabis conversation is heating up. Lawmakers are debating legalization with growing support but clear division in Parliament. Some officials see economic opportunity and regulation benefits, while others raise concerns about public health and enforcement. The debate shows the island is at a crossroads, deciding whether to embrace legalization or keep stricter cannabis policies in place. Berlin is becoming a key hub for cannabis businesses, but it's not easy to navigate. A new guide highlights strict regulations, cultural differences, and complex licensing rules affect executives face. While Germany's market shows huge potential, success requires understanding local laws and building strong relationships. It's a reminder that global cannabis expansion isn't plug and play, it takes strategy. Ontario may soon allow cannabis stores to open as early as 7 a.m. The proposal is aimed at increasing access and competing with the illicit market. Supporters say it gives consumers more convenience, while critics question whether earlier hours are really necessary. It's another example of Canada's fine-tuning its legal market to better meet demand. In Canada, cannabis sales are rising, while alcohol consumption is on the decline, according to government data. The shift suggests changing consumer preferences, especially among younger adults choosing cannabis over traditional drinking. It's a major cultural shift, showing how legalization is not just about access, but how it's reshaping habits and industry at the same time. I need a sip of water. Holy smokes. Cottonmouth. I feel like I was like, when you get that. Yeah. Sorry, everybody. Probably blew your eardrums out on that shit. Oh my God, I would go crazy having to hear that. Canada's cannabis tourism industry isn't living up to its expectation. Despite legalization, strict rules, and consumption spaces and retailers have limited the experience for visitors. The result, cannabis tourism is stuck in kind of a limbo, with potential growth held back by regulation and having fully adapted to the market. Japan is moving in the opposite direction of legalization trends. At first, they fucking got rid of CBN. I mean, how? This just makes no sense. Authorities reported a record 6,800 cannabis-related cases in 2025, with most involving young people. Yeah, because they want weed. Officials are increasing enforcement and targeting online access, showing a strict stance on cannabis. While other countries loosen laws, Japan is doubling down on prohibition. Ugh, I don't get it. Now, some culture. I like this. I like this one too. I thought this was really, really good. So, Mrs. Weedman, tell us that I let my teenage son grow weed in our house, and it changed our relationship in ways I didn't expect.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Yeah. Letting a teen grow weed. This next story is pretty wild, but it's also kind of deep. The article comes from HuffPost, and it's about a mom who made a decision a lot of parents probably would never even consider. She let her teenage son grow cannabis at home. Now, right off the bat, this wasn't some reckless move. The parents didn't just say, go for it. This was something they thought about carefully because their son was already curious and interested. So instead of shutting it down, they chose to lean into it with guidance. And that's really the core of this story: control versus communication. The mom talks about realizing that her son was trying to figure himself out. And instead of pushing him away or creating secrecy, she decided to keep the conversation open, even if it meant stepping into uncomfortable territory. So they allowed him to set up a small grow. But it wasn't just about growing weed. It became a lesson in responsibility, trust, and boundaries. There were rules. They had real concerns about things like what would he do with the cannabis? Who would he share it with? How could it impact his future? And they didn't ignore those risks. They addressed them head on. At one point, the mom even describes the stress of managing the situation, like hiding the grow from visitors and worrying about how others would judge their parenting. This wasn't some carefree, cool parent moment. It came with pressure, but something interesting happened. Instead of the situation spiraling out of control, it actually strengthened their relationship because the son wasn't sneaking around. He wasn't hiding things. He was learning in an environment where his parents were involved, aware, and guiding him. A lot of parents rely on strict rules. Don't do this, don't touch that. But this story flips that idea and asks, what happens when you replace punishment with trust and education? This idea isn't being presented as the right answer for every family. Even the mom admits it was a complicated decision and one that she did not make lightly. There were real risks, legal questions, and social judgment tied into it. But what it highlights is something bigger happening right now. As cannabis becomes more normalized, families are being forced to navigate it in real time. So there's no universal playbook. Some parents are still in that zero tolerance mindset, while others are moving toward harm reduction, openness, and guidance. And honestly, that's where the story hits. It's not really about growing weed. It's about parenting in a world where cannabis isn't taboo anymore and figuring out how to handle that shift without losing connection with your kids. Because at the end of the day, the question isn't just, should teens use cannabis? It's more about finding the best way to guide them when they're already curious. Short, sweet, and I just think that that's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Super cool.
Yes, I think it's fantastic.
I think it was great.
I totally get it because the stigma and the assumptions that other parents, the rumors and how information can change, and then it becomes the kid's a drug dealer and the parents are drug dealers. That can happen, in 2 days of information being shared.
Right.
And then your kid's just got all these targets on his back.
Right.
So it was really a big responsibility to do it, but I think it's really cool that they did it. Mm-hmm. And because think about it, this kid might say, like, he may have already realized that this is the field he wants to go into. This is a career. And he's going to be the first generation who never had illegal cannabis.
Yeah. That's great.
Right? Mm-hmm. If he's a young teenager in a state that's been legal, it's just neat.
It's awesome. Yeah. And the plants that on the picture look really pretty too and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
They were some big fat families. It looked super healthy. I was like pretty impressed. Right outside outdoor grow. It's great. Gotta love it. Proud of the family bonding on this and enjoying learning and it's pretty awesome. It's pretty great article. It'll be in our references if you want to read it and stuff. A mom and son coming together through weed. What have I always said?
Pretty cool.
Always said we all can weed, love, sharing, giving. Mm-hmm. It's a giving plant. You know why, Mrs. Weedman? Because there's angels in those leaves. Mrs. Weedman?
Mr. Weedman.
You got anything else to say? Besides, I'm pretty baked.
I'm pretty baked.
I know.
In a good way.
No, in a great way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When I say I'm baked, baked means
that's good.
Never. Yeah. It's never a bad thing when I use the word baked. Baked is probably top tier, feeling great, loving it, want to be more baked. Bakety baked. I took your thunder. Go ahead, Ms. Weedman.
Oh, I don't know.
Anything else to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, it looks like we may have averted the...
no, this is going to be until 6 in the morning.
But that red part of the storm, all the watches are over.
Yeah, but the green, though, is
just
the
rain.
worst. Yes, I just don't want
Mr. Weedman's going to be bucketing again.
Yo, Ingrid, you made us laugh on that one, on our comment on YouTube. We appreciate that. Please follow us on YouTube if you haven't already, but please follow us or share this too.
And bucket away.
Yeah, bucketing, Ingrid.
Give
never
Get
forget.
bucketing, would you?
She's a friend of ours, and she listens to the show, and she's a friend, really good friend of Mrs. Weedman's, and we've done a lot of events with her and around. She's great. So she's a huge believer in hempcrete and worked with some people in the hemp industry with building houses with hempcrete and stuff like that. So she's an awesome human being. And what does she bartend at?
Soho House.
Soho House. Go check her out at Soho House. Throw her some money.
Yeah.
Say throw her a joint for Mr. Weedman, please. Everybody, that's the end of the show. We love you out there. Man, life, I'm done talking negative stuff. Life is good. If it's not for you, you can always turn it around and you can make life better for you. Go out there and live some life. Have some fucking fun. Bring some peace to yourself, and then you'll be able to give peace to others. I love you out there. As Paulie always says, smoke smart, puff, puff, and away.
Puff, puff, pass.
Check out our cannabis lifestyle brand online at 8decades.com. Our custom smokes and accessories are perfect for your coffee table, bedroom nightstand, or kitchen counter. They're designed for you to show them off. The Canna community is also loving our hemp and cotton blend t-shirts, sweatshirts, scarves, and hats, finished off with our 8 Decades logo. We've got some awesome, long-lasting goods that will be your favorite for years to come. 8 Decades, because a 9th decade of cannabis prohibition isn't acceptable.